Hello, everyone, and welcome right here to the F.G. Clark Activity Center on the campus of Southern University. We've had the pre-season show, the mid-season show, and now it's the wrap-up show. Hard to believe, Coach. Now basketball for me is flying by. That's scary.
Yeah, basketball flying
This
by.
is what we play for right here.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations on a championship season.
Thank you.
And as we mentioned in the preseason, they were preseason ranked number 4, and we said that. I said, y'all must not know Sandy Pugh as well as we all know Sandy Pugh, because if you say that she's going to be the 4th team to finish in the SWAC, that means she's going to win the SWAC championship, and you did, the regular season title. And Coach, did you use that as a motivation for your players?
Definitely, definitely. You know, as soon as the polls came out, the first thing I did when I walked in practice was let the team know, you know, because I was really disappointed in it. But, you know, those type things give you great mileage when you're trying to motivate kids, and you always have that up, hey, you've been picked to finish fourth. That's not who we are. Mm-hmm. So the kids really responded, and, you know, that was apparent with that first game against Texas Southern and how we just went in and just completely dominated the preseason favorite. So I was really excited about, you know, the energy the kids brought and where we started, and I was very optimistic about where we were going to end up.
And you won on the road, won some tough games on the road.
Yes.
Came here, lost to Texas Southern, and poor Prairie View A&M was the next team for that because you demolished Prairie View A&M and the Lady Panthers. It wasn't even close. And Coach, I think that this team showed at that point, they flexed their muscles and said, this is who we really are.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the Texas Southern game, I think they were a little tight, you know, because they were well aware you win that game, you win, you know, the regular season title. I think they came out a little tight in the locker room. You know, it was a different energy. You know, I saw a team of disappointment. I saw a team of angry, you know, angry at themselves and what we had let potentially slip through our fingers. So, you know, the next practice, they were out here early. They were ready to go. Against PV, they were bouncing all over the place, and you know, I really didn't have to say much. But you know, I was just really, it gave us energy as coaches when you come in and you see a team of young ladies who are that pumped up or showing that much emotion. You know, I've been on teams and they'll go in the locker room, and you know, I'm the one with all the animation, and but it was the opposite. So I was very confident going into the PV game.
With that senior night in the Prairie View A&M game, I know it's got to be tough for you to say goodbye to some of these players. I mean, to leave the nest and stuff like that. Brianna Green has been a special player all 4 years here at Southern University, and to say goodbye to those seniors has to be tough. And then right after that, you found out that Texas Southern did lose to Alcorn State, and you celebrated the championship right there mid-circle.
Yep.
So that was pretty special.
That was, you know, as soon as the game was over, matter of fact, we were getting ready to do senior night between the two games. And the SID came over and whispered in the assistant coach's ear, and they came over and told me, and I looked, I said, what? I said, okay. So the kids didn't know. The kids had no idea until Chris announced it at the table, and so the jubilation, you know, that came from them was totally genuine, and it was great.
And this regular season championship brings them definitely a tournament. They get to go to a tournament at that point. Would it be the NCAA tournament, or would it be the WNIT tournament? We're going to talk about that coming up right here as our season wrap-up show. Hard to believe the Southern basketball wrap-up show is right here at the F.G. Clark Activity Center. The floor is out. They're getting ready for a foam party tonight. But we're still going to talk about how we looked for basketball for the 2017-2018 season, and what do we look forward to coming in next year. We'll do that when we come back right here. This is Southern Basketball Wrap-Up Show from the F.G. Clark Activity Center on the campus of Southern University right here on Pelican Sports TV.
the 2016 Nissan Altima. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With forward emergency braking that could stop for you. Get to your local Nissan store today. Take on sudden stops. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Southern Jaguars.
At Raising Cane's, we really like all things football, especially these guys. We could watch them all day long. But our one love is quality chicken finger meals. We could watch this all day long, too. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Louisiana Healthcare Connections is more than Medicaid. Whether you're trying to raise healthy kids or need health coverage for yourself, it helps to have good Louisiana folks on your side. Louisiana Healthcare Connections, connecting you to quality healthcare.
Nobody, Frank, nobody.
Nobody does clearance like Salisbury.
It's our disappearance clearance today. We got a deal for you.
Only Salisbury has this 2017 Ram Quad Cab for just $23,990 after finance rebate.
A four-door full-size truck with payments you can afford.
With automatic, air-conditioned, power windows and locks, speed control, and even a hitch.
8 at this price plus 60 more at similar savings.
It's our summer clearance event and they're disappearing fast.
Only at Salisbury's Chrysler,
Dodge,
Jeep,
and Ram
in Baton Rouge.
Buy smart.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the F.G. Clark Activity Center. It's the Southern Basketball Wrap-Up Show. We've got Coach Sandy Pugh here. I'm Chris Powers, voice of Southern University. So now we make it in, after we finish with the Prairie View game, we make it into the SWAC basketball tournament, round one right here against UAPB. We faced them all this year, and UAPB was a team that was not just going to give up easily in that game.
You know, they're a well-coached bunch. You know, Coach Kilbert does a great job. You know, we knew they were going to come in and fight. Their starting point guard, you know, she struggled at the beginning of the year and really, you know, got going toward the end. And that kid always closes strong. And she came in here and we had a lot of problems with her, you know. But, you know, all in all, we did all the little things we needed to do to get through that game and, you know, in preparation for the conference tournament over in Houston. So hard-fought battle between the two teams, went down to the wire, but you know, I think we just had a little bit more in the tank than they did.
Yep, won by 10 points in that game. Then we get down to a team that we split this year, lost at Prairie View A&M, beat them here, like we mentioned, big time. And the third time you're facing them, so it's a rubber match of that three-game series, really, against Prairie View, and you're playing them in Houston. So that in itself, plus tournament field, has to be exciting to go into that game, but also a point of unknowing, you know.
Yeah. Two guards. They have two super quick kids out there on the court that we traditionally struggle trying to keep them out of the lane. And one of the little guards got going, hit some big shots for them, and they were able to stay in the game. I thought, you know, the little number 5, I can't think of the kid's name, but she got in early foul trouble, their leading scorer, and she ended up on the bench, and that was a big turning point for us. Brianna Green stepped her game up. Skylar Aubert was magnificent and hit some shots, and you know, we were able to pull that one out.
No doubt. Then we get to the championship game against the Grambling State Tigers. Grambling State had not made the tournament since 17 years. They hadn't been in the NCAA tournament in 17 years. It was absolutely unbelievable. Playing against Southern University, I thought the first half was really right there, and obviously we led at halftime with a half-court shot.
Yeah.
I lost my voice on that on that half-court shot. But the first half was very back and forth, but you felt in the second half that the team just didn't really play as good as you thought they could play.
The whole game, the first half of that game, the first 2 quarters, I really thought we just really struggled to get into any kind of rhythm, on both ends of the court. I thought we didn't do a good job of transition defense. We didn't do a good job of rebounding. You know, and we just never seemed to pull it together until the last couple minutes of the game. We had a crucial play where The point guard went in and we thought was an and one. It ended up being a charge. And I thought that was a big turning point in the game on that particular play. The little kid from Grambling threw up a Hail Mary from the three-point line with the shot clock ticking down where I thought we had played magnificent defense. And, you know, those type things happen. And we lost the momentum on those plays. So, you know, my hat's off to them. They came in and did what they were supposed to do. And, you know, we were left, you know, waiting for next year.
That's it. And the tough part about it is, and it's what I just, you know, we're going to talk all throughout. We've talked about it all the time. Tournament time, one of the two big areas you've got to be good at. Obviously, you got to shoot the ball well, but you've got to be able to shoot good from the free throws, and you can't have a lot of turnovers. And in that ball game, 18 turnovers in that game against the Tigers.
Yeah. And, you know, and that's one of the things that we had kind of prided ourselves on all year is not having, you know, the heavy turnovers, you know. And so really a disappointing, you know, disappointing game, disappointing performance for us. But, you know, like I said before, you know, they were the better team that night. You know, we were the better team all season long, but on that particular night, you know, they caught us sleeping. So, you know, disappointing, but hey, we were able to move on and still get that bid to go to a national tournament. So we were really excited about that.
What were your thoughts of playing in the Delmore Fieldhouse?
You know, I thought the facility was nice enough. I thought the size of the arena on the interior might be a little, you know, smaller than what we necessarily play in. But, you know, I'm not a fan of playing in Houston. I think it's an unfair advantage for the Houston schools. If we're going to do that, I think we should be giving all the other schools an opportunity to bid on the tournament. So I've been a very vocal, you know, vocally outspoken opponent against playing that game in Houston since day one. So I look forward to, I've heard some rumors here and there that there's a possibility of the tournament coming back to Shreveport, Memphis, New Orleans, Alexandria, all over the place. So I'm definitely a fan of Shreveport, you know. We had a lot of success in Shreveport. Shreveport is a central location for everyone to have access to. I think they did a good job with the tournament. It's in Louisiana. And also Shreveport is, you know, is a place where no one has a real advantage, you know. So I think that would be beneficial for the conference, beneficial for the schools, and give everyone a fair shot.
And I understand, too, that Baton Rouge may be wanting to do that. Raising Cane's River Center is looking to possibly do a bid. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's a rumor that I heard here in Baton Rouge. But you know, the fans that we had that showed up in Houston was absolutely unbelievable.
They were amazing. They were amazing. I mean, they were loud. They were there. You know, they were cheering for the kids the whole time. You know, even after the game was over, you know, we heard from some fans about, you know, hey, we're really proud of, you know, the effort. You know, disappointing. But, you know, they were really proud of the way the kids represented. I
do not know, because I have a microphone, you don't, how y'all communicate with your team when the band's playing at the break, because I can't hear myself come close, especially in that Delmore Fieldhouse. Here we could, but Delmore Fieldhouse, I don't know how you communicated. It was loud, yeah. Well, you know, everything is numerical with us, so this is what we're running, you know, and then they understand. So, but you know, it can be difficult when it's, you know, when the acoustics are really bad. No doubt. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk to a couple of players here from Southern University, and also later on, Coach Sandy Pugh will get us looking forward to next season. That's all coming up right here at the F.G. Clark Activity Center on the campus of Southern University. It's a Southern basketball wrap-up show. I'm Chris Powers, along with Coach Sandy Pugh, right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Preparing a meal, it's a lot like preparing for a game. It involves hard work, the right plan, and attention to detail. Great food, that's our passion. A taste of Louisiana, handcrafted from scratch. Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Home, away, any game day. At Walk-Ons, we'll help you do game day right.
Louisiana Healthcare Connections is more than Medicaid. Whether you're trying to raise healthy kids or need health coverage for yourself, it helps to have good Louisiana folks on your side. Louisiana Healthcare Connections, connecting you to quality health care.
As football fans, Raising Cane's believes in rushing quarterbacks, but not our hot, fresh 24-hour marinated chicken. We believe in running out the clock, but never out of our refreshing sweet tea and lemonade. And we believe in supporting our teams with the same passion we have for serving our customers. Because when it comes to football season, we go all out.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers!
The biggest scratch-off game of the season is here. It's Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery. Your chance to win up to $100,000. Scratch the back for an extra game. Enter the second chance drawings for VIP suite experiences, a deluxe limo experience, a tunnel team experience, official autographed team merchandise, and the grand prize, a 2018 season ticket package. Play Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery for your chance to make this your winning season.
What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that stand in our way, that make us better? At Coors, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Lagered, filtered, and packaged cold. Our mountains make us who we are. Your mountains make you who you are. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
At Raising Cane's, we really like all things football, especially these guys. We can watch them all day long. But our one love is quality chicken finger meals. We could watch this all day long, too. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Welcome back here to the F.G. Clark Activity Center on the campus of Southern University as we have our player spotlight here. And for the Southern Jaguars, Lyric Scott, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Your first year at Southern University, you struggled in the beginning, you were telling me earlier off air, but you really looked good in the second half.
Yes, sir.
You feel you're getting confident, more confidence as each game goes on?
Yes, sir. Coach was like, Lyric, you got this, you can do it, and all that. And I just went out there and played my game.
How is it playing for Coach Sandy Pugh?
I mean, I like playing for her. She always pushes me to do better things each and every practice. So.
How was it playing from preseason into the SWAC?
From preseason, I was like getting down on myself because I was struggling. Then like when we got into SWAC, she was like, "I need you," and then I just stepped my game up.
And look what you won.
Yeah.
And that final game against Prairie A&M, right here, senior night, did not know that Texas Southern had lost until after the game, and then y'all celebrated right here in the circle. How was that?
It was amazing. I was happy. Everybody was excited.
Tell everybody where you're from.
Oh, I'm from Richmond, Mississippi.
And also tell everybody what you're majoring in.
I'm majoring in rehab.
Rehab?
Yes,
oh,
sir.
Sports rehab?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that is awesome, too. I had to mess my knee up, tore my ACL and PCL, and I almost did that same thing. It's pretty interesting,
yeah.
The way they get everybody. Luckily, hopefully, you won't have any of that in your career.
Hope
so you're
not.
looking forward to your sophomore season?
Yes, sir. We
know you'll be one of the team leaders. Lyric Scott right here, one of our player spotlights. We're going to have another player spotlight, Skylar Robert. That's coming up after this short break right here on the Southern Basketball Wrap-Up Show on Pelican Sports TV. All right, we'll continue with our player 2 of our spotlight here for Southern University and the Jaguars, Skylar Robert. And I love saying your name on the radio. Skylar Robert hits a three-point shot, and I know you like to hear that on the PA announcers when you hit that three too, huh?
Yes, sir.
You're getting more and more confident playing the guard and not playing point guard anymore, huh?
Yes, sir.
And what's your favorite shot on the court from the three-point shot? Is it on the wing, corner,
I
or
like
top
the
of the
wings.
key?
I like the wings.
See, everybody says that. I'm top of the key guy. I love top of the key. That's the easiest shot for me to make on the three-point shot.
Yeah, it may be straight up, but it's a tougher shot for me, so I'd rather the wing.
How did you feel playing in the SWAC this year? They had a lot of parity this year, but number one throughout from start to finish.
Well, confident because, you know, it's my junior year, so I've been there. So did all I can just to keep my teammates up and fight through.
Now you're coming to your senior season. So does that mean now that you are going to be one of the more vocal leaders on the team?
Most definitely. So I have to take that leadership role and just be able to take everybody under my wing and make sure everybody doing what they have to do.
Did you learn from Brianna Scott? Was she one of the vocal leaders on this team?
Yes,
Brianna
sir.
Green, rather?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what are you going to do off season to get prepared for your senior season? What kind of conditioning? Same as last year?
Same conditioning, whatever they have for us, you know, just make sure we prepared and ready to go.
How is it playing for Coach Sandy Pugh?
It's good. Like, she's a great coach. You know, she always stays on us to push our energy out of us and our potential. So playing under her has been great.
Tell everybody where you're from.
White Castle, Louisiana.
Yep. And where you? What are you majoring in?
Rehabilitation services.
Again, another rehab.
Yes,
there you
sir.
go. All right, that's our player spotlight right here at the F.G. Clark Activity Center. When we come back, we'll have more basketball talk right here. It's the Southern Basketball Wrap-Up Show right here on Pelican Sports TV.
What's the most important aspect of event hosting? Location. This is something that Bell knew from day one. That's why we're located in downtown Baton Rouge, across from the convention center, close to LSU, and right by the river. So with a friendly staff, award-winning cuisine, and a massive conference center of 10 rooms and 24,000 square feet capable of fitting more than 2,000 guests, what we offer is just as important as where we are.
What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that stand in our way, that make us better. At Coors, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Lagered, filtered, and packaged cold. Our mountains make us who we are. Your mountains make you who you are. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
The 2016 Nissan Altima. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With forward emergency braking that could stop for you. Get to your local Nissan store today. Take on sudden stops. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Southern Jaguars.
We're a nation of hardworking Americans, and businesses will always be the lifeline of this great country. As a business owner, you understand the importance of your reputation. In times of uncertainty, you need a real lawyer who's serious about protecting you and your business. You need a problem solver. You need the law firm of Clayton and Fouger. Tony Clayton is a proven trial lawyer. He'll defend you and your business to the fullest extent of the law. Protect your investment and call the law firm of Clayton and Fouger today.
Louisiana Healthcare Connections is more than Medicaid. Whether you're trying to raise healthy kids or need health coverage for yourself, it helps to have good Louisiana folks on your side. Louisiana Healthcare Connections, connecting you to quality healthcare.
Nobody, Frank, nobody.
Nobody does clearance like Salisbury.
It's our disappearance clearance, and we got a deal for you.
Only Salisbury has this 2017 Ram Quad Cab for just $23,990 after finance rebate.
A 4-door full-size truck with payments you can afford.
With automatic, air-conditioned, power windows and locks, speed control, and even a hitch.
8 at this price plus 60 more at similar savings.
It's our summer clearance event and it's disappearing fast.
Only at Salisbury's Chrysler,
Dodge,
Jeep,
and Ram
in Baton Rouge.
Buy smart.
We are inside the F.G. Clark Activity Center where they're getting ready for a big party here tonight with all the students and some recruits coming in and what have you. So there'll be a big foam party tonight, and they're getting that ready here as we have our Southern basketball wrap-up show right here from the F.G. Clark Activity Center on the campus of Southern University. With us right now, men's basketball coach Morris Scott. Welcome to the program, Coach.
Appreciate you having me.
Man, second half of the season, you won 9 out of 10, looking in a great situation, then lost 3 in a row. So at that point, were you concerned going into the tournament?
Yeah, you were a little concerned at that point, but I knew what kind of guys we had in the locker room, and I knew they would fight back. And we've been talking all season, you know, going into the tournament, no matter what seed we get, because we knew we dropped a couple games early. It was going to be tough for us to fight all the way back. But we made, good strides, and, like you said, we won 9 out of 10 to get ourselves back in it and give ourselves a chance to, to actually accomplish winning a regular season title. But we knew if we got in the tournament, anything can happen.
Looked good in that Alabama 2 games, Alabama A&M and Alabama State, obviously Montgomery, Alabama. Then went into Alcorn State, and the Braves handed you the first loss of the 3 losses in a row. And it's just a tough place to play in Norman, Mississippi.
Yeah, very tough place to play, and of course they shoot the ball really well over there. They gave a lot of teams fits over there. Pine Bluff went in there when they were the top seed, and Alcorn wound up beating them by probably about 20 points. So we knew going in, and I think they hit like 15 threes in that game. So we knew going into the game they was going to shoot the ball much better because that's the trend for them at home. They shoot the ball a lot better. They play with a lot more confidence. And like you said, it's a tough building to play in. They get a good crowd. The crowd really get into the game, and they feed off that. So they did a great job in there.
Texas Southern's always a tough team to play as well. Lost to them at Texas Southern. Came here. It was a very competitive basketball game. Obviously going down to the wire again. What makes Texas Southern so great?
I mean, they got a lot of guys that could, of course, that could score the basketball, and they stretch you out. They got multiple guys that can shoot the 3 and actually can put it on the floor and make plays. They play a lot of small ball, and they get a lot of transfers, guys from high major that come down and perform at a high level for them. And that's the way he kind of, does it. We more traditionally, we get guys in that stay for a couple years to come into our program to help us out. He's more of a find a 5th-year transfer guy for 1 year to come in and make his program be successful. And, everybody has their own way of, doing things and winning. And we just do it a little different around here. We kind of try to groom you and grow you up a little bit and nurture you a little bit and make sure you become productive citizens once you leave.
And the Prairie View game was senior night here at F.G. Clark Activity Center, and say goodbye to a very nice young man, Jared Sam.
Oh, yeah.
And you watched him grow right when he got here.
From right when he got here. So, yeah, it was tough. It was an emotional game going into it, but we came out and, I thought we was playing great basketball, and unfortunately, kind of like it happened to us a couple other times this season, late in the ball game, they had a couple guys that don't normally, make threes, hit threes, and kind of the same thing happened to us at home against Jackson. They had some guys that just came in from out of nowhere and hit a couple shots, and those are the breaks. You tell your team, always be alert, always be ready, and be ready to step up and make plays no matter when your number called. And those guys were able to step up and make plays on the other side, and unfortunately, we came out on the wrong side of that.
Right. We had some special players on the SWAC team, all SWAC team. Very good players. Texas Southern represented very well as well. What did you think of all the SWAC? This year was kind of interesting. UAPB got off to a great start, then slowed down a little bit, then got back in tournament time and started getting back again and went to the championship game against Texas Southern and lost that game. But this year in the SWAC, it was really very competitive. This was a very big parity league this year.
Yeah, it was very parity league this year because you had so many guys sprinkled out. Some of the top players was on different teams this year. Normally, you get a team with 2 or 3 guys that make all conference. This year, it was kind of, Pine Bluff had the most guys that was on all conference this year. They was probably the most all-in-all talented team in the league this year. They had a couple guys that came in that really played really well once conference play started. Because they had the defensive player of the year and the first team guy, 2 first-team guys. So they were really loaded. And, of course, Texas Southern had guys. They had a couple guys that just didn't qualify for first or second team because they didn't play in enough games. But for the most part, everybody was kind of talented. And you take a team like Alcorn, they got some really good guard play. If they don't lose, you know, their inside present preseason player of the year, then you're talking about another team that would have been right up there in the race and running, and would have made, you know, the lead a lot interesting. And of course, Alabama State is always going to be really good every year. They had some guys get injured and transfer out, so they kind of slid down a little bit as well. But for the most part, every night you knew you had to come and play. And like Richard Lee told you earlier, with us having a lot of new guys, you know, 7 or 8 new guys coming into it, you tell them that it's going to be difficult, it's going to be tough every night. You got to come to play. And like he said, he know. So I think next year, you know, with those guys, those 7 or 8 guys we got that had their first experience with SWAC play, with all those guys coming back, should have a great chance of being successful next season.
Now, obviously, 3-game losing skid going into the tournament, but we have host Jackson State here in round 1. We're the 4th seed, and very tight game. Jackson State led that game for a little bit at first, and then all of a sudden we took it away from them and won that game to advance to Houston, and that was a magical game. That's March Madness, baby.
Impressive game, and it shows, you know, our guys, and it gave our guys some confidence, you know, to fight back, and I think it'll be some momentum for us going into next season, because those guys really, you know, was hungry. They felt the emotion of the crowd. We had a great crowd in here. We fed off our crowd. I thought that, you know, they were really in tune into the game, just like we needed them to be, and they've been great all season. So it was good, you know, to be in front of the home crowd and have that feeling of, you know, winning a tough game, hard-fought game, especially against Jackson State, because it's always a tough one and it's always nip and tuck every time we play. So it's always good to pull that one out.
Your thoughts of the Del Mar Fieldhouse? I know for us broadcasters it wasn't very good at all.
Right.
But for you, how was it?
I thought it was okay. I liked the atmosphere and the crowd. The only thing, you know, I was concerned about the lighting in the gym. I told our guys, was like, is it going to look like this? Because we went there the day before to go to, you know, shoot around. It was kind of dim. I was like, I don't know. I think they may brighten up the lights a little bit, because our guys are used to playing with the bright lights, and to us it was a little dim. But you know, it was like, again, first time going into conference tournament and playing, so they had a chance to experience it. And I thought, you know, we played good basketball. They had the player of the year on their team, and he kind of took over the game late in the game and made some tough plays that kind of helped them get over the top. And you know, we missed free throws in that game that kind of cost us.
And tournament time, free throws are big. And you can try to preach it to these kids as much as you possibly can. And sometimes it don't get until they're losing. Until they lost the game, and it's like, well, you know, you missed 18 free throws or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So you can't miss that many free throws. It all seems tournament time. That's the way it is going to be. And not only parity in the SWAC this year, but I thought it was parity in all of college basketball. The first time a 16 seed beats a number 1 seed in history of the NCAA basketball tournament, so it was absolutely unbelievable. When we come back with Coach Moore and Scott there in our basketball wrap-up show, we're going to talk to him about the roster going in for next season and talk about another addition to his team. We'll talk about all that and a whole lot more. We're in the Southern Basketball Wrap-Up Show right here at the F.G. Clark Activity Center on the campus of Southern University. This is Pelican Sports TV.
Preparing a meal, it's a lot like preparing for a game. It involves hard work, the right plan, and attention to detail. Great food, that's our passion. A taste of Louisiana, handcrafted from scratch. Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Home, away, any game day. At Walk-Ons, we'll help you do game day right.
At Roadrunner Towing, we love our God, our children, our nation, and yes, our sports. So let's play ball. Score big when you need a tow, either in East Baton Rouge or West Baton Rouge. Because at Roadrunner Towing, we don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your tows.
The biggest scratch-off game of the season is here. It's Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery. Your chance to win up to $100,000. Scratch the back for an extra game. Enter the second chance drawings for VIP suite experiences, a deluxe limo experience, a tunnel team experience, official autographed team merchandise, and the grand prize, a 2018 season ticket package. Play Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery for your chance to make this your winning season.
What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that stand in our way, that make us better. At Coors, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Lagered, filtered, and packaged cold. Our mountains make us who we are. Your mountains make you who you are. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
At Raising Cane's, we really like all things football, especially these guys. We can watch them all day long. But our one love is quality chicken finger meals. We could watch this all day long, too. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Welcome back to the wrap-up show here for Southern Basketball here on Pelican Sports TV, live from the F.G. Clark Activity Center. We've got a basketball player right now, Richard Lee. He's going to be a redshirt senior coming up this year on the court. Well, this next season, I should say. First of all, let's talk about this season right here. And 75% from downtown, my man. You like the three-point shot?
Yes, I do. It's one of my specialties, being a basketball player since I've been doing it since I was little. So it's one of my gifts that I got.
Any particular area from the wing or the top of the key?
I prefer really the corners.
The corners?
The corners. I like them corners. It's tough, but
I found my niche. Yeah.
I found my niche shooting them corner threes.
Definitely so. Yeah. And what do you think about your play this year? What would you like to improve coming on next year?
I feel like I could improve on being a more vocal leader for the team, bringing my experiences and helping the team out of different areas, and just being more of a assertive player when I'm on the court. That's what I feel like I can help out at.
Do you like the starting position or coming off the bench?
Whatever helps the team win, whatever my coach sees fits. It don't really matter to me as long as I win. I just want to win, really.
Did you feel that this team accomplished everything? I mean, I know it didn't win the championship, made it to the SWAC tournament, and went on to Houston, lost in that first game in Houston, Texas. But I felt that this team really had good potential to do it well, and they played very well in some games.
Yes, sir. Our goal was to actually win the whole SWAC tournament, so, we fell short, so we wasn't satisfied with that. But we took that, we could learn from it and move forward going into next season with it. But our goal was to definitely win the SWAC championship.
You got some players that are gone now. Of course, your big man down low. And what do you feel returning for next year is going to be the strength of this basketball team?
We actually have a lot of veteran guards returning that has a lot of experience, has actually been here multiple years as well. So I feel like that core nucleus right there would be good moving forward into next season, bringing that experiences that we had with that group right there of guards that we got.
Coming from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, how did you feel with life here in Baton Rouge? I know it's not as hot. We've got more humidity here in Baton Rouge than they do in Florida.
We do. Well, it's kind of similar as far as like the actual environment, and the weather's kind of similar, just just a little further from home. But it has its similarities with how the weather and how the environment is actually the people.
With all the great food here, how do you keep in shape, my man?
It's tough, but with me running and working out, it balances all out.
What's your favorite food?
Ooh, I have to say chicken wings.
Chicken wings?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. Speaking of working out for this year, what do you expect to do to get you ready for next season?
Probably do a lot of conditioning, weight room, also an off season to get us a little stronger and bigger for the next season, a lot of individual workouts.
And what about when you practice your three-point shot, especially from the corner? Do you like someone bringing that broom in front of you, guarding you at all times, or just open shots for a while?
A little bit of both, because sometimes you're going to have some open looks, sometimes you're going to have some contested, so a little bit of both.
Do you like it standing still or coming on the wing and sprinting right there to it?
I like both.
You like both?
Both. Whatever the situation is at that time, I get it done.
Because some players, you know, when you're getting into the area where you just stand still and take that shot, it's a lot tougher shot because you're thinking about it more.
But with me, it's natural, you know. I can shoot it any kind of way I want.
What did you feel about the SWAC competition this year? Texas Southern lost both of those, but you split with Prairie View A&M. Good season this year because at one time Southern was #1 in the SWAC.
I remember they told me. I feel great about the competition. It was very, very competitive games. Everybody played hard. It's great atmosphere. Both teams, they really played hard. I respect both teams.
And I just caught when you said they told me. So that means you do not look at the standings. The coaches told you the standings, and that's good.
I look at the history, yeah.
Because I know that the coaches don't like the players to stare at those standings and stuff like that. All right, when we come back, we're going to be talking to head coach Morris Scott again and talk about the conditioning program for this year as we get ready. Believe it or not, it'll be here before you know it, next basketball season. Here from the F.G. Clark Activity Center, I'm Chris Powers. This is the Southern University basketball wrap-up show on Pelican Sports TV.
Louisiana Healthcare Connections is more than Medicaid. Whether you're trying to raise healthy kids or need health coverage for yourself, it helps to have good Louisiana folks on your side. Louisiana Healthcare Connections, connecting you to quality healthcare.
What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that stand in our way, that make us better? At Coors, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Lagered, filtered, and packaged cold. Our mountains make us who we are. Your mountains make you who you are. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
At Roadrunner Towing, we love our God, our children, our nation, and yes, our sports. So let's play ball. Score big when you need a tow, either in East Baton Rouge or West Baton Rouge. Because at Roadrunner Towing, we don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes.
At Raising Cane's, we really like all things football, especially these guys. We can watch them all day long. But our one love is quality chicken finger meals. We could watch this all day long, too. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Powers. Missing basketball already. Coach Morris Scott, you too?
Yes, of
Man.
course.
We got a long
Can't
way
wait for
to
this
go.
NBA playoffs, though.
Man, yeah, that's right. That's right. And that's going to be competitive too in the Western Conference.
Yeah, definitely.
Big time. We're talking to Coach Morris Scott right here for Southern Basketball in the men's program. Of course, the wrap-up show right here at the F.G. Clark Activity Center. They're getting ready for a party tonight, so that's why we have some noise and kind of all kinds of stuff that they're doing right here. Coach, as we get the season ready for next season, looking at the roster right now that you currently have, how do you feel going into next season?
Oh, we feel great about next season. Like we talked about earlier, you have those guys that experience coming back. You have 7 guys that'll be 6 of them will be seniors next year that's coming back, and then you have 2 juniors will be coming up. So you have about 8 guys coming back that can really help you out and contribute and make it a successful season next year.
What are you looking for as recruiting goes? What holes do you feel that you need to fill?
Well, of course, the number one need we're going to have to fill is trying to replace Jared Sams. You can't replace a guy like that because he's been in your program for 4 years, but you got to come in, get another big kid to come in and fill that board. But we also have a freshman in Mubashir Ali that's going to be great. That'll be able to step right in, and I think he'll be able to contribute next year in a major way. So, yeah, you're going to lose Jared in scoring those type points, but I think Mubashir Ali will be able to step in and handle it, take some of that load off, and then the other guys around to be able to step up and take bigger roles as, Eddie Reese and Jamal Sander. For those guys, Jamal was just a sophomore, and it was, all those guys first time playing Division I basketball. So, for them to experience it the way they did, with us going to play the games that we played, especially going into Duke and having success and playing pretty good basketball game, and then you talk about tournament play. I thought we played really well the whole entire SWAC play. Us as a staff, we went back and we was, you recap the season and you go over stats and everything like that, and we only had 1 loss in conference play that was by more than 6 points.
Yep.
So we was in every game. Those guys just, now they kind of understand, and like we talked about Richard Lee earlier, every possession matters now, and that's what we're preaching to these guys right now, so that when we come back, they know, even in practice and everything, every day it's got to be win today, every day, every possession. You got to win every possession to be successful in this league.
All right, now talk about will Reese stay at the point guard position?
Yeah, we're gonna leave him there, but we'll tinkle with with Torrey Mayo coming back. Hopefully he can be healthy all season with them 2 guys out there at the same time. It really was effective for us, and that'll be more of a lineup we look to. Probably play a little faster since we don't have Jared down there just posting up, scoring the ball as much. We may play a little faster next year so that we can get it out, because we'll be more perimeter oriented next year. So that's what we're looking forward to doing.
And you recruited a new member of your team, a new baby.
Yeah, new baby, little Carson. So we got a little new addition. Now, it's tough during the season when you're going through. And he came probably right before we left to go to Alabama, actually. So that was kind of a scary deal because that Thursday we was gonna leave that Friday to head up to play. So we had to push our travel back a little bit. But it was a great weekend all in all to be able to go and, win a game. And we'll actually win 2 games and, the birth of,
that's right.
A new baby boy, healthy guy. And he's doing well, mom's doing well, so everything is great.
All right, Coach Morris Scott, basketball coach here at Southern University. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here from the F.G. Clark Activity Center. This is the Southern Basketball Wrap-Up Show right here on Pelican Sports TV.
What's the most important aspect of event hosting? Location. This is something that Bell knew from day one. That's why we're located in downtown Baton Rouge, across from the convention center, close to LSU, and right by the river. So with a friendly staff, award-winning cuisine, and a massive conference center of 10 rooms and 24,000 square feet capable of fitting more than 2,000 guests, what we offer is just as important as where we are.
What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that stand in our way, that make us better. At Coors, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Lagered, filtered, and packaged cold. Our mountains make us who we are. Your mountains make you who you are. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
The 2016 Nissan Altima. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With forward emergency braking that could stop for you. Get to your local Nissan store today. Take on sudden stops. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Southern Jaguars.
We're a nation of hardworking Americans, and businesses will always be the lifeline of this great country. As a business owner, you understand the importance of your reputation. In times of uncertainty, you need a real lawyer who's serious about protecting you and your business. You need a problem solver. You need the law firm of Clayton & Fouger. Tony Clayton is a proven trial lawyer. He'll defend you and your business to the fullest extent of the law. Protect your investment and call the law firm of Clayton & Fouger today.
Louisiana Healthcare Connections is more than Medicaid. Whether you're trying to raise healthy kids or need health coverage for yourself, it helps to have good Louisiana folks on your side. Louisiana Healthcare Connections, connecting you to quality healthcare.
Nobody, Frank, nobody.
Nobody does clearance like Salisbury.
It's our disappearance clearance today. We got a deal for you.
Only Salisbury has this 2017 Ram Quad Cab for just $23,990 after finance rebate.
A 4-door full-size truck with payments you can afford.
With automatic, air-conditioned, power windows and locks, speed control, and even a hitch.
8 at this price plus 60 more at similar savings.
It's our summer clearance event and they're disappearing fast.
Only at Salisbury's Chrysler,
Dodge,
Jeep,
and Ram
in Baton Rouge.
Buy smart.
All right, so far we've had a great time here at the basketball wrap-up show at the F.G. Clark Activity Center on the campus of Southern University. We're going to obviously congratulate Coach once more, not only for this trophy right here, Coach, but congratulations on representing the SWAC very nicely in the WNIT tournament. The Alabama coach really gave a lot of praise because, look, they said, hey, they gave Auburn all they could handle, and they come in here in Alabama, and a lot of people thought, a lot of the fans said, okay, we're going to easily win this game. It wasn't that easy for them.
You know, all year long, we've gone in and played teams extremely well. Some of these guys have humongous players in that lane, 6'5", 6'4", and they've given us a big challenge. But we thought we matched up fairly well with Alabama. We just felt like we just needed to hit some shots. You know, Sam struggled from the perimeter. Brianna just probably had one of her worst games all season. But I was really, really enlightened to see Jaden come off the bench, and she shot it extremely well. Lyric Scott, a freshman, came off the bench and shot it extremely well for us, and you know, were able to give us a lift. But you know, all in all, the kids went in and they did what they've done all season, and that is compete and battle.
Who are the players to watch going as we get ready for next season? I know you like Lyric Scott. You also like Skylar O'Bear.
It's Sky's senior year, so it's time to for her to step up and take on that leadership role and you know, be one of our premier scorers. We called on her toward the end of the year to do a lot defensively. You know, she was, to me, was just phenomenal defensively, chasing the shooters off screens and always there doing the fundamentally sound things. You know, I tease her all the time because she's that guy that we depend on to do all the little things, you know, whether it's rebounding or defending this kid on the perimeter or chasing shooters or being consistent on the box out, playing point guard, something she hates. But, you know, whatever we've asked of her, she's traditionally stepped up to the plate. Lyric Scott's a freshman, you know, 3,000-point performer out of high school in the state of Mississippi. I think she's probably second only to the Vivens kid at Mississippi State in scoring over there. And we're just expecting phenomenal things out of those two young ladies. And Jaden Towner also. You know, so we're losing some quality kids, but I think it's an opportunity for these young ladies to really show what they're capable of doing also. So next year we're looking forward to that.
And one of my favorite players too, big number 33. I like the way she turns around. She got a good turnaround shot.
Yeah. And she does. She plays hard for us, and she, you know, she's kind of come along with, you know, finishing consistently. But I think she'll be a a valuable piece to what
She
we
get that turnaround shot, kind of like an old Nikita Wilson shot back with LSU back in the day. That would be fun because I like that turnaround shot. I used to love that turnaround shot. It's hard to block.
Yep.
That's a hard, because you're fading away and you're going like that, and it's a hard shot to block. Coach, what are summer plans for you? What does Coach Sandy Pugh, one of the most successful coaches in SWAC, do in the summer?
In the summertime, I get in my hot tub. No, I'll be out here working the kids out and, making sure that the mindset of the new kids coming in is consistent with, our philosophy, Southern women's basketball, and just getting ready to go for another season. The energy's still here. I'd say that to my staff all the time. It's like usually you're drained at this time of the year, and you're just ready for a vacation somewhere on the beach.
Right.
But the energy's still here, and we're excited about what the kids we have coming in. Kaylin Williams, a phenomenal player right here at the lab school, and a number of other young ladies. So we're excited. Have great basketball on the horizon for some Southern women's basketball down the road.
No doubt about that. Another one of these, 2 in a row. How beautiful this trophy looks. Unbelievable. Well, we hope you enjoyed the wrap-up show here from F.G. Clark Activity Center. Before you know it, we'll be back starting again. It'll be October, of course, getting ready. October around the play starts, November, and we hope that you join us right here again. We'll have another shows right here on Pelican Sports TV. All right, for Coach right here, Sandy Pugh, and all the coaches and players that have joined us here today, I'm Chris Powers saying so long, everybody. We hope you enjoyed the Southern Wrap-Up Basketball Show right here on Pelican Sports TV.